Sorry about that. Okay, and we are live. Sorry about the little technical difficulties in the beginning there. Welcome to tonight's show. My name is Eric from All Things Art, and basically for tonight's show, we're going to be going over and taking a look at the results from the ZEZ Studios painting competition. I'm going to be joined by Pablo from ZEZ Studios himself, as well as the amazing, talented artists slash judges. We have Arter Montiero, Bruno Papa, Carol Ottolini, and unfortunately Fabio couldn't make it. But basically for tonight, we're going to be going over the top 10 finalists' work and giving you our opinions and our critiques, as well as announcing the top 3 winners, the people that took first place, second place, and third place. So for anyone not familiar with the ZEZ painting competition, I'm going to run their video promo real quick, and then we'll bring on the rest of the panel. So here we go. Sorry about that.
In the world of creativity, where vision meets mastery, one challenge awaits the elite. The ZEZ Studios Painting Competition. Exclusively for active supporters of ZEZ Studios. This is your chance to showcase skill, passion, and precision at a grand scale. Paint your 1/6 statue or larger in stunning realism to stand out before our esteemed panel of judges. Artur Montiero, Carol Ottolini, Fabio Bikinski, and Bruno Papa. Only 3 will rise above, claiming rewards worthy of their artistry. $1,000 cash, a year of ZEZ Studios, an exclusive workshop with Artur Montiero, and a collector's ZEZ poster for the first place winner. Second place receives $500, a year of ZEZ Studios, and a poster. Third place will receive $250, a year of ZEZ Studios, and the collector's poster. You have 2 intense months to bring your vision to life. Share your progress using ZEZ Contest and aim for the top. For the top 10, a YouTube critique with the judges will celebrate strengths and explore new heights for your craft. This is your moment, your masterpiece. The ZEZ Studios Painting Competition. Join the elite.
All right, welcome everyone.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Hello everyone.
Yeah, as many times I practiced that yesterday, I screwed up the intro, so I apologize.
Nah, you're good.
We're all here. That's all that matters. So yeah, basically we have Pablo from ZEZ Studios, the one that's behind all of this. So Pablo, if you want to introduce yourself and let everyone catch everyone up on the painting contest and what's going on.
Hey guys, my name is Pablo Castaneda. I'm the owner of ZEZ Studios. First of all, I want to give a huge thank you to Eric for allowing us to be here and doing all of this here on his YouTube channel. Also, I want to thank all the judges that participated, Arthur, his wife, Carol, Bruno Papa, and Fabio. It was really hard. Honestly, we had a lot of great entries for the contest. So you guys really did give us a hard time to analyze and go through it all. But I think we did a great job selecting the top 10. And then when you put it on Patreon, you guys also helped out by voting and choosing the top 3. So this live is just for us to go through the top 10 finalists. Let's say the seven that didn't make the top 3. do a small feedback, analyze and say what could be better, where you guys did a good job, and just quick comment on each one, and then we'll go from the top 3 and announce the winners.
And then we have our judges, Bruno
Yeah.
Papa. How's it going,
Yeah.
Bruno?
I'm doing great. Sorry for the English guys. This is not our native language, but we'll try our best. So nice to meet you all. I'm Bruno. I am the founder of Porcino Brushes here in Brazil, and at the same time, I'm the tech art director on Iron Studios, and also one of their painters. My specialty is realism for portraits. So that's pretty much it. It was a good run. There were a lot of cool projects over here, and I'm happy to be over here.
Yeah,
and
I think it's nice that he mentioned that he's qualified in realism, because I feel like all the judges that we chose for the contest are like highly capacitated in realism itself. So that's a huge key point that we were looking at when we did the run through all the entries. I'll be translating for Arthur and Carol, since they do speak Portuguese. They do understand everything, but just so things run a lot smoother, if you can't speak that fast, Arthur, that would be good. That way I can have time to translate. Okay?
Ok.
Yeah.
Fala pessoal, beleza? Meu nome é Arthur Monteiro, eu sou pintor profissional. Assim como o Pablo e o Brunão acabaram de falar, eu sou especializado em realismo, né? É uma das minhas especialidades. Eu, junto com a Carol, fundamos a Saga Studios há bem pouco tempo. Eu acho que é bem isso, vocês precisam saber da minha caminhada profissional, né? Eu estou trabalhando com pintura há relativamente pouco tempo e, para mim, assim, primeiro eu quer ir traduzindo, Pablo?
Oh, yeah. Or else I have so much to translate. So he said, "Hello guys, my name is Arthur Montero. As Pablo said, I'm specialized in realism. Him and his wife have a studio named Saga Studios, which is the studio that I posted on ZEZ Studios, that they did a course on realism. So you guys could check that out. Also on the Patreon, I posted the link to everything on there."
Então, para mim, desculpa, só obrigado.
I was going to introduce your wife. We have Carol Adelino here as well.
Minha vez. Olá, pessoal. Eu sou Carol Tonini. Faço pintura realista há 2 anos, apenas. Sou esposa do Arthur. E com ele eu criei o Saga Studios e estou muito feliz de estar participando. Obrigada, Pablo, Zés, Eric, pela oportunidade. Estou muito feliz de estar aqui.
Okay, so she said her name is Cara Adelini. She's Arthur's wife. She's been painting realism for about 2 years. So Arthur started, and he got the whole family on board with the whole situation, which is awesome, because everyone's doing a good job. Arthur's really an amazing teacher, and she thanked us for being here to do this, and that's basically it.
Yeah, we have an amazing, talented panel here. So wherever you want to start. So the contest basically ended last night. So we know the top 3 winners, but we're going to, like you mentioned in the intro, we're going to go over the top 10 finalists, everybody that made it to the top 10, and basically go through their work and critique it, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And if we do have time in the end, you guys could send like links to your entries. So if we have an extra time just to look over those that didn't make the top 10, but you guys want to quick feedback, we could do that as well. So Eric, you could just open any of the 7 that didn't make the top 3 but we're on the top 10, and we'll give the judges some time to look at it and say why they chose it and everything.
All right, I'm going to go in order of the folders. So we have Aries. Let me open that up real quick. Share window, Aries. And then, like we discussed earlier, if you need me to jump around, just let me know where to jump around to.
I got it. Okay.
Let's see. No, that's me. Sorry.
There you go. We see your screen.
That's still your screen. Hold on. Apologize. Window. All right, here it is. All right, share. Hold on. No, that's me. Sorry. Give me 1 second.
All good, all good, all good.
Let's try this one. No, it's one of these. Nope, that's me. Which one is
Let me
it?
see. Let me see if I could open it here.
No, it's me too. Hold on.
I'll open it here, and you could share my screen, and maybe that could work. Let me know. Share my screen and see if it's showing up.
Yeah, I have too many windows. Hold on. Group layout, screen layout.
You guys can share our screen. Let me just close some. No, just joking.
Yeah, it's not sharing. Hold on. Try it one more time. Sorry about that.
See. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't share it. Let's see. Let me think this through. Do you have the folders on your end until
Yeah,
I
I
can
have the folders on my end. If you could just share my screen.
Yeah,
and
because I was
it
able
could
to
just
do
work.
that just fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
working. I'm not
See,
sure why.
just leave it there, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
I'm not sure why it's not working on.
Let me just put this one on this side,
There we
and
go.
then we'll go from there. Okay, perfect. So the first one that we're gonna be looking over is Aries from God of War. Vocês podem ir falando o que vocês acharam, o que vocês escolheram.
Vai falando na ordem aí, pode começar de cima para baixo, Brunão, os caras,
Tá.
depois eu.
I'm the first one. Okay.
Yep.
So I think this Aries is very good. Actually, there are some details that I like very much. Like for example, some OSL of the sword on his hands, legs, and things like that. The one thing that I think could be improved a little bit is like he has obviously that's a hard word for me. Been in a battle because he has some blood spellets, but his armor is almost pristine. You know, there's no battle damage enough, so it should have some chipping, some some damage on the leather on his skirt, and at the same time the colors on the base are like not making enough contrast on each other. So you have like something that is pretty much the same stuff. You know, it's like black, and then you goes to the rocks, but you could have like some highlight to separate it from the one from another one. And I think that's pretty much it, because I think something that is very important to say over here is like the ones that won by detail. So it was like the minor things that they put into their work that actually made a huge difference in the end. So, for example, I love the shadow that it was done on the eyes. So this is something that I'm always trying to achieve, to create that volume, and at the same time, I'm pretty sure like it could be improved a little bit on his skin, because some parts look a little bit flat. At the same time that you have the volumes, you are missing the texture. So that it's missing the pores of the skin. Even though it is like a whitish skin, it should be like some variations of gray on his skin, you know? That's pretty much it. But like what I said about the skirt and things like that apply to the whole armor. I don't know how it is called, the wings that he has, like
Yeah,
the
kind of like
transition, the
tentacles,
gradient.
right?
Yeah, his tentacles are pretty cool. Like the transition from the how do I say incandescent?
The
Like
glowing, the glowing,
yeah,
the
Glowing,
glowing.
that's some hard shit over here. But the glowing aspect of the yellow going to the red, it looks pretty cool. That's a very good figure.
Cool, cool, cool. Carol, algum comentário?
Uau! Bem,
Já analisou tudo, né?
Yeah.
não sobrou muita coisa para falar.
Yeah. So basically,
Mas,
it going deep. Pode falar.
mas eu gostei muito dos contrastes, né? Da maneira que ele apresentou os detalhes. Acho
She really
que
liked the contrasts.
os detalhes foram muito bem feitos, as camadas estão bem suaves, então isso. Nossa, comecei a ficar nervosa. Vai, Arthur, vai você, porque eu já engasguei aqui.
Eu entendo. I understand. Vai,
So
pode falar, Pablo.
Carol said she really liked the contrast, the way the layers are built out, and the whole like color palette fits nicely. and then she got a little bit nervous and she passed the ball on to Arthur.
Bom, primeiro eu queria.
Segura aí.
Eu me atropelei na apresentação. Eu queria agradecer primeiro ao Eric pelo canal, aí, pelo espaço. Agradecer a você, Pablo, pela oportunidade, cara. Fantástico que você fez, tá? Esse projeto da ZES foi uma coisa incrível. Pode traduzir, Pablo, que eu continuo depois para não ficar muito
Okay.
coisa.
So first of all, he wanted to thank Eric for being here on the channel, thanking me and ZEZ Studios for allowing and making all this possible.
E agradecer aí ao pessoal que participou. Vocês, assim, são feras, sem sombra de dúvida. Todos os trabalhos que a gente teve o privilégio de analisar, eu gosto de frisar bem essa palavra, privilégio, né? Porque nós também somos artistas e, enquanto artistas, tendo que julgar o trabalho de outros artistas é delicado, assim. E é um prazer, é uma honra para a gente. Eu acredito que eu falo em nome dos três aqui, inclusive do Fábio, que é muito bacana estar aqui. Então, assim, quer traduzir, Paulo?
Tá bom. So he first also he wanted to thank every entry that painted a model for the contest, and he said he wanted to use the word privilege because it was an actual privilege to judge these pieces as being an artist and seeing other artists' work. It's kind of like tricky to judge, but it's a privilege that they were chosen to do so. So just thank you.
I would say that all the finalists, everybody did an amazing job. It's very hard to even critique anything.
Então, complementando aí o que o Brunão falou, o que a Carol falou, né? A Carol ficou nervosa, eu entendo. Justamente pelo que eu acabei de falar. O Brunão foi muito assertivo no que ele falou a respeito das críticas, né? Muito assertivo. Eu ressaltaria ainda os elogios que eles fizeram, né? Que, cara, o contraste, se eu não me engano, eu não lembro, tá, pessoal? Me perdoem. I don't remember the name of everyone who sent his job to the contest. Mas eu consigo me lembrar de alguns porque fazem parte do nosso convívio, né? Esse artista é uma, acho que é a Gabriela, ou Gabriele, se não me engano. Gostei muito do contraste que ela conseguiu fazer nos tentáculos ali, né? Nessas espadas, ficou muito bonita a luz que ela fez. Mas ficou faltando os detalhes, que foi justamente o que fez a gente penar para escolher os 10, né? São os detalhes que fizeram toda a diferença no final. Eu acho que os detalhes é que a gente tem que apontar aqui. A textura, o Bruno foi, cara, cirúrgico ali, quando ele falou da pele, ficou faltando uma texturazinha na pele, algumas variações de tom, de cor, para que a pele tivesse mais vida, né? E alguns danos de batalha, como ele bem mencionou. Eu acho que o que eu posso apontar assim, do que faria a diferença nessa peça é isso. Mas de elogios, assim, todos, assim, no geral, são incríveis.
So his comment was agreeing also with Bruno and everything he said. He wanted to reinforce the importance of, for example, the white in the arms. To have more tones, you know. Yeah, I know his skin is whitish, but not just white, you know. More battle damages instead of just having like blood splattered. Where did the blood come from, you know, and work that weathering and scars and stuff like that as well. But he said she did a good job on the contrast and the color palette and everything from there.
Yeah, I would agree that the skin tones fell a little short as far as like shading and stuff, but everything else looks pretty good.
Because at the end of the day, it calls too much attention in a way, you know, because the white just stands out. So if she would have broken down with like other tones as well, just to kind of like fit all together, I think.
And are we saying did you say who this was by?
Yeah, it was by Gabby Lazzarotti.
Okay.
Yeah, Gabby. So okay. So next we're gonna go towards Skeletor by Gam Painter. Okay, Bruno, all yours. Arthur, do you want to start?
Yeah. I was going to suggest the same thing. Let's do like
opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ok. Yeah. Então, essa daí ela já está incrível, como eu disse, né? Todas as outras, mas o que a gente vai apontar aqui são os detalhes que poderiam fazer a diferença para melhor. Né?
Tá. So this one he said is really good, but he's gonna point out some details that could be improved so she could achieve the next level, you know?
Então, assim, para começar, eu vou falar da apresentação, né? Que é uma coisa que eu acho que a gente comentou quando estava avaliando as entradas e contas. A apresentação de alguns trabalhos poderiam ter sido um pouco mais assertivos no sentido de mostrar melhor o trabalho de pintura, né? E esses são casos que eu gostaria de apontar, porque apesar da gente entender e saber o que foi feito aí, né, foi um trabalho excelente, conseguiu fazer um trabalho legal de sombra, de iluminação, um trabalho bacana nos metais. Eu acho que na parte do crânio ali, se você puder dar uma aproximada, só para não falar bobagem, então faltou um pouquinho mais de iluminação na pintura, tá? Eu digo na pintura, e aí eu volto na apresentação, né? Que é o que poderia ter feito a diferença nesse caso, né? Não usar luzes, como é que eu posso falar isso de uma maneira...
Eu vou ir traduzindo aí.
Tá, beleza.
So first of all, he said this one was a really good entry, but he wanted to point out the presentation in general, you know, because we noticed that a lot of the entries, what they lacked on, they did a good job painting, but when it got to the presentation part, taking pictures and stuff like that, some of them were too dark and you couldn't really see what they did, or they just put a backfill light that was a different color and it just changed all the colors of the whole model. So that's something to be careful with as well. You know, he was mentioning with the skull that it looks a little bit dark, and maybe if she had put a better light, it would have been like improved, you know.
Exato. Então, assim, eu acho que nesse caso, como você falou, né, uma luz de preenchimento colorida, você usou exatamente a palavra que eu queria encontrar, né? Essa luz de preenchimento colorida ou uma luz colorida incidindo na peça altera completamente a percepção de quem está lendo, fazendo a leitura da pintura, né? Então isso induz a quem está vendo ao erro. A gente sabe que é uma luz externa, né? Só que ela não deveria estar aí. Isso aí tirou um pouquinho da atenção da pintura.
Yeah, so he's talking about this green fill light that was used, you know. So it distorts the perception of the person that's viewing the picture, you know. And for a contest, you should keep things more like neutral, you know, so it won't like get in the way of your paint.
Yeah, I agree.
Exato. E aí, voltando a falar assim, dos acertos, né? Para não ficar só martelando em cima de alguns problemas, cara, os metais ficaram sensacionais, assim. Acho que poderia ter ousado um pouquinho no desgaste em algumas partes, mas está impecável. Eu só apontaria a apresentação, nesse caso, que poderia levar ela para acho que para um outro nível, assim, uma apresentação mais neutra, mostrando mais o trabalho da figura em si do que a parte artística da fotografia.
Yeah, so for this one, he wanted to point out the good job that the person did on the metals, and back to the same problem as not problem, but flaw as the last entry, have more weathering, you know. That will take your piece to the next level. But the main focus that I think she missed out on this one was presenting her project in a way so you could see everything more clearly, you know.
Like I just noticed she has the translucent resin on the bottom. It's hard to even make out.
You can't even see what was sculpted, you know, here. So
acho que por mim eu posso
yeah. That was all the words from Arthur.
Okay.
Does anyone need to add anything? Bruno or Carol?
Acho que eu posso. Acho que agora eu já consigo falar.
Let Carol speak and then I'll go afterwards.
Assim como o Arthur falou, eu acho que essa iluminação acabou pesando um pouco. Ela passa a sensação de que as sombras estão muito carregadas, muito duras, e isso atrapalha um pouco a nossa percepção. Mas, no geral, a peça está fantástica. Os metais também chamam muita atenção, estão muito bons. E Acho que ele mandou muito bem no geral, assim. Acho que é uma peça muito bonita e muito bem feita.
Yeah. So Shiva just wanted to reinforce the thing about the shadows that are too dark sometimes, and it just changes the perception of the whole model itself.
Yeah.
But she did a really good job with the metals, and the whole presentation in general is really good.
It's a cool looking piece.
Bruno.
Yeah, actually, I think like Arthur and Carol said a lot. I mean, like this one is pretty cool, but I do agree with Arthur. I think like whenever you're painting something, you need to understand that your lighting is gonna shift everything that you did. So, for example, can you put like the one with the full body, Pablo? Back. Yeah, this one. We have no idea what happened like on the stairs on the left
Mhm.
and with the snake that he summons. Like
Hmm.
we don't know what happened because of the light. I mean, it's obviously that you guys are working on the full piece, on the full figure, but like, at the same time, we can see it. So it's pretty much like you guys spend
It's-
time and we can't see it. You know. If I could
Hmm.
point some other things, there's a shot that you can see like his leg pretty close. No, not this one. It's one that no, this one. Okay. So can you zoom in the leg again, please? Yeah. This one can explain a lot what we said on Aries from Lazzarotti, right?
Hmm.
Actually, this one has the shading, but at the same time, it does not have the pores. So what we mean by the pores is like the little dots that you see. If you can make it very subtle, you can actually create this texture. So you can figure like he's doing shadow with a black color
Mhm.
or with a very dark brown. But often when you are painting, you are not using black. You should avoid black and put white because your white's gonna be desaturating your figure, and black is something that you often don't see. What you see is like the color with another color that is contrasting it, and with a little bit of black, it's very minimal. So when you throw black on it, and at the same time you put it on a studio for taking pictures, what happens is like you put this volume lower than it should be. So what could be done over here is like getting the base color that you used, and you try to either saturate it a little bit or use a color that is going to be contrasting with it. So you can actually create this kind of volume effect with the color instead with the black, with the color
Hmm.
that matches. So this is something that I really notice. And at the same time, do you have a picture that has his hands
You
like
see.
very close? Yeah, I think this one works. His nails are not glossy,
Yeah.
and this is something that I always pay attention because we can see that the skin is glossier than the nails,
Mhm.
and often when in creatures, especially in creatures, you want to create this difference of material between them. So there's a shot that he's with his
His
armpit.
armpit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you put it? This one, yeah, zoom in a lot. The light, the way that it's bouncing, is actually simulating that the skin is too much gloss on it. So it has too much gloss on it. So
Mhm.
it should be inverted. You should have like a little bit of gloss in the nails, and the skin should almost look flat.
Hmm.
Almost, you should have like a semi gloss. But this one, the way that the light positions itself, it actually kills the shadow that it did, because the shadows that were supposed to be black it starts to become grayer. So it kind of kills the color that he was using. So this is the main stuff that I see. I kind of agree with Arthur on one thing. I think like the skull is pretty cool. I think like I often when I paint skulls, I don't like to put a lot of contrast. But I can see why he mentioned the highlights, because it would pop. If I would change the portrait, I would change like his eyes, because I know that Skeletor has this kind of eyes, but I think the way that it was painted, it's like a dark tone, a dark color with a very dark color inside of it. So if you could do like a small white, like it was shining, and then you put like the red around it, it should
Hmm.
pop a lot when you look from far away, because this is something that would bring the attention to the head, because look, when you zoom out, you don't even see
You don't
that he
even
has an
see it's
eyeball.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
So
like he did gloss the eyes, just not
yeah,
the nails. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you put like a white in there with an airbrush just to
Mhm.
make that
The eyes
effect,
pop
it would, yeah, it would work
because
very,
the
very
eyes
well.
is the first thing you look at when you look at a model.
Hmm.
But if
Yeah.
you look at from the distance, it just looks everything black, And then
Yeah.
if you
Hmm.
zoom in, you could be like, okay,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
red.
And I agree with them. I mean, like, he could have some tear on his leather and things like that. I think it
Yeah.
would have added to the figure. But
Like I
overall,
said,
it's a very, very cool.
the photo is very dark too, which isn't helping the
Hmm.
eyes either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
photo is
Exactly.
dark, and at the same time, the volumes are black, so
Mhm.
it kind of gets a little bit too much volume, you know. That's
Yes.
pretty much
Bruno,
it. But I
Pablo,
like it a lot.
Pablo,
I like it a lot. I promise.
se eu. Terminou aí, Bruno? Só para eu fazer um
Uhum.
parêntese aqui
Manda
no
bala.
que você falou. Cara, assim, o Bruno, como sempre, é, cara, muito preciso no que ele fala. E ele mencionou uma coisa que eu estava me segurando aqui para não entrar nesse assunto ainda, mas é um assunto muito bacana de ser falado e que é importante ser falado, principalmente num contexto de pintura, que é a parte técnica da pintura. Né? Quer ir traduzindo, Pablo, para não ficar muita coisa?
Yeah. So he said that Bruno was very assertive and straight to the point with his comments, and he touched on a topic that he was gonna want to touch like later on, but it's about as técnicas, você disse?
Isso, a parte técnica da pintura.
The technical aspect of painting in general.
Isso, isso. Que diz respeito a justamente o que ele falou, né? Que é a compreensão da teoria da cor em si. É uma coisa que fica muito nítido quando você percebe, principalmente a construção das cores numa pintura. E foi aí que também muitas não entraram no top 10.
Yeah. And the technical aspect is understanding the fundamentals of color theory in general, knowing like what if you mix this with this, it's going to give you a different color. And that's what kept a lot of people from not entering the top 10. It's because a lot of people just slapped on, let's say, the Vallejo color they had without mixing anything, or without adding different tones and stuff like that.
E o principal, assim, que foi um ponto que ele falou, que, cara, eu acho que é o que todo mundo tem que ter em mente quando está fazendo uma pintura, é principalmente isso que ele falou, evitar os pretos e os brancos, né? Porque você acaba matando a saturação da cor em alguns aspectos que ela não deveria perder a saturação. Como foi o caso da sombra, que ele apontou ali, cara, de maneira cirúrgica, né?
So he said that his advice would be always to avoid like white and black tones for sure, because you end up killing the saturation of the actual color itself, which is what Bruno was talking about with on the leg and the shadows itself. So use like base tones of the same color, but never black or white in general, Show. So that was the comments for Skeletor. Next, we're gonna go Lobo by Gavilan Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Carol can start this one, right?
Não.
Eu acho. Pode começar, Carol. Vamos para a fogueira.
Just kidding.
Não,
Do you want us to start, Carol?
eu deixo para vocês,
É.
Vocês estão mandando muito bem. Eu vou ficar aqui de espectadora por enquanto.
Okay.
Pode começar, Bruno.
Okay, so I think I remember this one. Can you zoom out, Pablo, please? Okay, so I remember this one. This one was one of the ones that I liked a lot, but the feeling that I got when observing this one was that what's his name?
Lobo.
Gavin. Lobo. The artist
no,
or
not the card, the artist.
Oh,
the
yes.
character, I know, yeah.
It says Gavilan Studios.
Okay, so
Gavilan.
Gavilan did a very good job, but what I felt was like it looked like he went like 70% of the way,
Mhm.
It looked like he worked a lot in the colors, it worked very well, but I don't understand why he went so unsaturated, for example, for the leg, for the blue in the leg. And everything looked very unsaturated. At the same time, there's this red light
Yeah.
that actually is the thing that brings the most color to the figure. If you analyze it from far away, it's
Mhm.
something that. Oh, okay, that's a better picture. Yeah, you guys need to actually learn how to take pictures, guys.
I think the loss
Bro.
of saturation could be from editing, you know, and
Yeah,
he didn't
and
use it to
this
his
is a
advantage.
problem actually, Pablo,
Yeah.
because this is the way that, like Arthur said last time, you are presenting the figure. Like, for example, the back shot that you showed us. Can you go
Nice
back to it?
colors. Nice
This
color.
one I like it
Nice.
the
That's
color
great.
of the legs much better than the other one.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
at the same time, I still think they are unsaturated. I think
Hmm.
it kind of matches the color of the shadows that he used for the skin,
Hmm.
so it could like create a little bit more contrast between them. And for example, the I forgot the name. Os propulsores.
The okay?
Os
The
propulsores.
que é isso?
O jato. O jato
Jato ali, o
dele.
azulzinho.
The turbines,
Yeah,
Turbines.
that exactly that. The turbines are they are on, so this means like the metal should be showing that as well. And I'm not meaning like only light.
yeah.
I'm meaning like when you grab a metal and you start like putting so much fire on it, and this shows us that it has a lot of fire in it,
Hmm.
especially below it.
Yeah.
You should have like some effect of the metal kind of getting
I have an example. Someone's painting
awesome.
the Transformers from ZEZ Studios.
Ah,
Awesome.
I
Actually,
saw that.
this right here.
Way long.
Oh yeah, and look how he did
That's
the
Yeah,
nice.
right here.
when he's doing this one.
Look, so this you mean right? When the heated metal,
He's
Yep.
a
Yeah.
great
and then
artist.
there's this effect right here on this top part right here. So it should have
Yeah.
been since the turbines they have fire coming out of them, kind of have this
The heat
effect
effect.
This
in the
effect.
heated.
Yeah, this effect.
Yeah.
You go from I learned that with Mauricio. He's one of the painters from Iron, and he's a very good painter for vehicles. And he explained to me and showed me. I'm not gonna remember the correct order, but it's like purple, blue, and then a little bit of brown, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it's something that when you put it, it's like day and night. You know, it's something that every time that I see something that is referred to metal and turbines and things like that, I always think like that, like first thing in my head. So
Yeah.
can you go back to the pictures real quick?
Yeah.
I do think like there should be some scratches in the metal as well. I do think there should be some uh either dust or dirt in the boots, like he was walking somewhere, because Lobo is not the most clean guy in the world. So we could
Yeah.
have like some blood splats, some things that actually would go very very well with him. You know, you can even see like he has some weld effects over there, like in his motorcycle. And it's a motorcycle. What is this, Pablo?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, it's a
motorcycle. It's like
Yeah,
motorcycle. Yeah.
space
Like a
motorcycle.
yeah, space
yeah,
space motorcycle.
yeah,
Space hot.
Space yeah.
the
I
weld
love them.
effects already shows that this thing has been through some shit, you know. So you should
Mm.
represent that in the rest of the painting as well. So you could like get a dry brush and start doing some white, some aluminum effects and things like that. Uh, let me see if I have anything else, because the thing that pops up in my head, it's pretty much contrast. That in the first picture I thought it was lacking. In the second one that you show me, the back one, I think it got better, but at the same time there are some few points like
Mhm.
the legs, like I said to you. I love dog. I think dog's pretty cool in this one. I do. Oh, let me
Yeah.
see dogs. Yeah, he put gloss. Okay. Why did it? I just noticed like that's the third figure, and I don't see anyone putting gloss in the eyes of the characters.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but put gloss on the eyes of the figures, guys.
Yeah,
Gives
even the
it
dog
light.
has, like you were saying, like there's so much red. I think he was trying to give the effect that the fire was giving off this glow effect, and
Yeah.
it's everywhere. It's just too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Mhm.
that's a painting effect, I wouldn't recommend it because it pretty much killed a lot of things in the paint. But if
Mhm.
that's a light,
I think it's a paint effect. It's a
yeah, I
paint
think
effect.
that's a paint
Yeah.
effect.
Painted,
You
yeah.
can actually do that, but it's hard to you would need
Not
to
that
create more
hard.
contrast. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a lot.
if you're working with OS cells, the thing that we can do is learn from people that do that in miniatures, because they are the masters in doing like optical
Mhm.
Yeah.
illusions using that. So
Yeah.
every time that you see someone doing OS cells, it's pretty hard to see the rest of the sculpture to be almost like in natural ambient light. They either turn off all the lights and this is the main source of light, or they actually put a light behind it. So you have like 2 points of light. One comes from the main source, that in this case would be the explosion, and another one comes from the top on the back of Lobo. So that's pretty much that. But I wouldn't do like this kind of effect in a very, very big figure.
I think
If I'm,
Gavilon is actually
Go
in the chat. He's saying there is mud on the boots. You can see it in the other photos.
let me see.
Oh, there's like little kind of like.
Yeah, you can see a little bit there.
Yeah, but you could put more, Gavin. It's like, please, guys, this is something that we need to reiterate over here. Everyone that made to the top 10, no, I think it's important, Arthur, because everyone that made to the top 10 did an amazing job. Our job here as judges is actually to point in the what we would change to make it even better.
Even better.
You guys don't even to agree. It's like a suggestion, you know. Art is very subjective, so it's pretty much that. So don't think like, oh man, he said like my paint is not good. No, that's exactly the opposite.
He made the top 10, right?
Yeah, you made the top 10. So that's pretty much it. Like, let me see. I think that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, I think
can
you're
I see
on
his face? Do you have like a close in his face? Yeah, you should put like some gloss in the teeth as well, the mouth region. That would have helped a lot. Because if you don't put like gloss in the teeth, like in sculptures like that, it starts to look like a gesso, you know, painted. So
like gypsum.
Like what?
Gypsum, like the gesso.
No, gesso. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say in English? I thought it was
Gypsum.
gesso. Oh, okay.
G-Y.
Like that. and it's pretty much like that.
Or chalk. You could say chalk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Gavila, if you are in the chat, I don't know if that's the light, but I think you should create a little bit more contrast with the hair and with Lobo's sign that he has on his face, because they are pretty black in the comics. So this is something that if you goes to a dark gray due to lighting or things like that, it kind of gets strange with the character's visual identity, you know? That's pretty much it. And his jacket as well. It's pretty dark in the comics.
Yeah. I think a lot on this project happened because of probably like photo editing, you know, and it wasn't edited towards like to benefit the project, and he slacked a little bit on, because the colors look on some pictures they look good, like this one, but here it looks like kind of like with no saturation. Maybe he toned down the saturation in the post-processing, you know.
Yeah, and we actually need to evaluate it by the picture. So if we don't have like a
we don't have the physical
matches, we can do that. You know? That's pretty much it.
Anyone want to add something? Or we could move on to the next one.
Eu quero falar.
Gente, tá, então vou deixar você falar. Deixa eu só falar uma coisa rapidinha. Gente, eu peço mil desculpas, mas eu não vou conseguir ficar nessa posição por muito tempo. Eu vou precisar sair, deixar vocês aqui. Mas quero deixar meus parabéns a todo mundo que participou, aos ganhadores, e excelentes trabalhos. Obrigada, Eric. Obrigada, Pablo. E perdão, mas eu realmente não vou conseguir ficar.
So Carol's thanking us, but since she just came back from the hospital because of a back problem, she can't sit too much on this position for too long. She's thanking everyone, and she's gonna have to head out. Okay.
Okay. Nice meeting you, Carol.
Bye.
Ciao, Carol. Yeah. Okay.
Então, só para avisar o pessoal, você acabou de falar, né, Pablo? Ela acabou de chegar, ela chegou do hospital agora às 6 da tarde, tem menos de 4 horas, né? Então ela fez questão de estar presente aqui para fazer jus ao esforço das pessoas que participaram, que estão assistindo aqui.
Yeah, so Arthur said that she just came back from the hospital about 4 hours ago because she had an herniated disc, I believe. And she just showed up to say hi to everyone and to not let the event go by without her showing up. So thank you, Carol, for being here. Okay, Arthur?
Primeiro, eu queria falar do Lobo, cara, assim, Cara, como sempre, o Bruno deixa muito pouco espaço pra gente falar, Bruno é foda. Então, assim, eu tava aqui. Bruno talk about every aspect of the painting, guys, and that's difficult to keep pointing things. Eu vou falar em português porque eu demoro muito a raciocinar em inglês, tá?
Tá, fechou.
Eu queria acelerar um pouquinho, mas é difícil. Então, algumas coisas, eu estou aqui com a foto aberta, consegui abrir algumas, eu estou avaliando aqui o que a gente viu no dia, né? No geral, cara, assim, é um projeto, é um modelo, cara, fantástico do Lobo, né? Então ele soube aproveitar bastante aí, é um modelo difícil de pintar. E assim, eu vi que ele estava aqui presente na live, então, bom, nada que está sendo falado é para diminuir o seu trabalho nem o de ninguém, tá? De maneira nenhuma. Não entendam dessa maneira. Quer traduzir, Paulo?
So he said that Bruno left him like little to no space once again because he's so like detailed on every little aspect. He said that Gavin was here on the chat and not to take like any of the comments personally because this was a wonderful job and he did an amazing job, and no comments are to like put the work down, but think little key points that could be improved so he could achieve the next level.
Yeah, that's it. Então, assim, o que eu posso apontar, tá, de cara, que o Bruno falou, assim, de uma maneira linda, foi a questão da leitura da peça, né? Ficou esse vermelho da turbina muito saturado e a porção de cima, que é a principal, que deveria ser o foco central da leitura da peça, tá diferente. Então, assim, você tem muita saturação, muito contraste embaixo, e pouca saturação e pouco contraste em cima, né? Principalmente no...
Yeah, so he said that the overall look at the statue is the key point that he would point out that he could be improved, because the focal point is Lobo, but the saturation is so like big on the base that you look at the base and then you look that there's Lobo up there, you know? So he should have switched that around, you know, to make the key character the main focal point.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one big, everything's just flowing together.
Yeah.
That's it. A leitura ela tem que ser sempre do ponto central, e aí a gente vai buscando os detalhes, né?
The way you read it from the center focus, and then you start looking at other details from there on.
E aí vai levar a um ponto que, assim, enquanto o Bruno falava, eu estava aqui olhando o tablet com as fotos, a leitura, ela busca direto os olhos, né, da estátua. E, assim, quando você vai nos olhos, você já percebe o que o Bruno falou, né, uma falta ali de contraste em alguns pontos. Ele apontou os olhos e foi muito preciso também isso. E aí uma coisa que eu preciso mencionar que ele também falou em relação à questão de OSL, né? Algumas coisas são justificadas, são luzes que estão sendo emitidas do ambiente que ele está, né? Mas algumas luzes não se justificam, como a dos olhos, por exemplo. Os olhos do lobo não brilham. Então, ali eu achei um pouco fora, assim, sabe?
So he said that the first thing you look at the character is the eyes, and I think he went a little bit overboard with all the red that he did on the eyes, especially, you know. So he went like overboard with this so much, like redness around the eye.
Manter mais essa máscara do rosto do lobo mais pro preto, que é a cor dela, né? E,
make his mask darker, closer to black, like it is in the comics, would make that stand out.
E acho que faltou, assim, outra pontaria de detalhe também, acho que o contraste na pele em geral do corpo dele, faltou um pouquinho mais de criação de volumes ali, de uma diferenciação de sombras e luzes, né? A gente percebe que tem sombra e luz, mas não tem ali o degradê para a gente perceber legal os volumes, a diferença dos volumes, né?
So more contrast on the skin, so you could understand the volumes a little bit better, you know?
Mas assim, falando em contraste, eu preciso falar assim, que existe uma diferença, né? E o Bruno falou bem em relação ao tamanho da estátua. É uma estátua grande, então, quando a gente fala de pintura de miniatura, por exemplo, a gente tem toda essa questão que envolve o SL, né? Muito contraste, muita saturação. Uma peça desse tamanho, isso aí não pode ser levado tão arrisca, né? O cara vai fazer um OSL tipo esse do farol aí, dá para saber que é a luz do farol que ele tentou simular, né? Então, um pouquinho mais suave, deixando transparecer um pouquinho mais o metal.
So he said that this light effects that he did with the paint, to be careful with. When you're painting a miniature, you gotta go all in and saturate it a lot because it's a miniature. But once you're working on a bigger scale statue, don't go overboard with the light effects like he did here on this, the machine gun and on the dog and all that stuff, because it doesn't work as well with larger figures.
Yeah, that would be my.
Sorry.
No, I would say that everything else looks great, but that would be my main issue. There's just too much of the artificial lighting effect going on.
Yeah,
with that red. Like at first, before I even noticed the base, I thought he was bruised or bleeding from his midsection where his abs are.
Like here. Yeah. Exactly.
I sent an example of a painting that I did that explains a lot about contrast because it's an unsaturated figure, and this one was made last year for Iron. And this is a figure that you actually need to think a lot about composition, because if you look like the full figure, you will notice that we have like the frame base that is supposed to simulate like a frame of a painting, but at the same time, as we go up, we have like almost a gray, but there are some details that bring the colors where I want it to be. Like for example, in the woods and in the apple that stands out,
Apple.
And then when we get to Snow White, she is the main focus of the figure. So we do have a lot of things going on. We have, if you start zooming in, you're gonna be seeing like we have the rabbits, the squirrels, the deer, but at the same time, the focus is Snow White. This is what we are talking about composition. It's like you can have unsaturated elements in your figure, but at the same time, you need to actually understand what you want the eye of the people to actually grab the attention. That's
a really amazing piece. That's actually off the artwork of Heather Thayer. Now she's Heather Edwards. I collect a lot of her Disney paintings, so it's like based off a painting.
Very beautiful. But this is a clear example of what he was saying, to saturate the main character more. Because imagine if the squirrels were saturated, you would be lost. Like what's competing with what?
And if you notice, like in the back, Snow White's not the main stuff. It's like that's because she has like this
cloak.
So this cloak. So it's mostly black. So the main stuff that we wanted to point out, it's like the intrinsics of the base. So the color shifting, we don't use almost any black. You can see like purple, blue, yellow, green. There's purple even in the woods on the top. So this is the kind of stuff that we are talking to you guys. It's like try to use colors in your advantage. That's pretty much it.
Even in shadows.
All right, go on to the next one.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's move. Okay, next one. Kratos from Golden Garbage. Studio.
Oh, I'm gonna let Arthur start. He's the Kratos, man.
Yeah, Arthur actually has an amazing Kratos.
Let me see if I can find it here on the. Well, let me see the image over. Vou começar vendo aqui. Eu diria que assim, olha, apontando, e aí eu volto a falar daquilo que a gente estava falando, tá? É só para melhorar o trabalho. Afinal, são todos os 10 finalistas, né? Então, assim, eu diria que. Dá um zoom para mim. Afasta da peça, por favor, Pablo. Pega um geralzão aí, só para dar uma olhada.
So first of all, he wanted to reiterate that everything he's saying is just little stuff to add to the piece. Great pieces, great that enter the piece.
Então, assim, eu diria que a leitura da peça tá bem legal, tá bem bacana. Afasta um pouquinho mais, só para eu ver ali a base. Sim, então, tá bem legal. Acho que a gente comentou dessa pintura lá. Curti. E aí eu vou apontar logo de cara, assim, algumas coisas que eu melhoraria na parte de pele, né? Aí você pode aproximar da pele do dorso dele. Isso. Então, eu acho que assim, olha. Continue, Paulo.
So he said that the way you read this whole piece looks really nice. Nothing's fighting. The characters like really saturated, nice. different example than the last project, and the way you read the whole piece looks really nice. Now he's going to point out something of the skin texture that called out to his attention.
Okay.
Isso. Então, eu achei aqui, ó. Achei. Não. Quem foi que fez esse, Paulo?
Golden Garbage Studio.
Golden Garbage. Então, assim, ó, eu apontaria na pele, tá? Eu acho que aí a gente teria a mesma situação que teve no Lobo, né? Eu acho que não que a gente precise exagerar no contraste. Aí uma coisa que as pessoas têm que entender que é relativo aí a valores tonais, né? Que são a escala de contraste, que vai do preto ao branco, e tudo aquilo que está compreendido ali dentro. E quando a gente fala de contraste, não está dizendo exatamente que você precisa usar do preto ao branco, como a gente já havia falado. Pode traduzir aí que eu vou...
He said that back again, the same thing with the Lobo is having more contrast. That you have a scale from contrast from the white all the way to gray, all types of grays to black. So not necessarily only those contrasts exist, you know. And then he's looking for the reference.
Então,
so you can see it on
a gente, quando fala de peças em escalas maiores, a gente não vai usar, principalmente realistas, né? Que é a nossa especialidade, a gente não vai usar e abusar dos pretos e dos brancos. Mas a gente ainda assim precisa ter algum contraste, né? Saber trabalhar as escalas de cinza, que é o que acontece nessa peça. Eu acho que o Kratos, e aí que é a parada legal de pintar, e é onde eu gosto de trabalhar a pintura desse personagem, que é um desafio, realmente é difícil pintar ele, é você saber interpretar esses volumes de uma maneira em que você consiga usar essa escala de contraste para que ele fique natural, não parecendo um boneco de porcelana, né? Como se ele fosse simplesmente branco ou cinza.
So he said to work the midtones of the gray areas, like not white, not black, for the contrast in a way that it doesn't look like a porcelain doll, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he would point out.
Então, eu acho que... Quem continua? Pode falar, Eric quer falar alguma coisa?
There are a lot of good things done on this piece, though, that I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Like I like the red stripe. I like that he changed the sheen on the red stripe. The teeth do have that shine to
the gloss
it.
that we mentioned on the last piece. Yes.
Well, going back to the Lobo, he did that object source lighting also on the base. It's very well done. If you look at the base with that fire effect on the back, if you look at the back of the base, turn. You have that picture of the back of it. He did that same glow effect. I think it was the other one you were just on.
This one.
That one right there. See how it's like kind of like coming off. Nice fade. That's it. Very, not too much.
The wood looks nice as well here.
Yeah.
The arrows.
Sim.
Overall,
eu ia chegar lá. Não, eu ia descendo ali agora. Eu ia falar da pele primeiro. Eu estava querendo falar desses aspectos da pintura de pele dele, que é meio chatinho de fazer por conta do entendimento de que ele é cinza, né? Então, eu acho que poderia ter acentuado um pouquinho as texturas dele, trabalhado um pouquinho nesses valores de contraste. E aí, falando do que o Eric mencionou, né? Essa questão das coisas boas que ele fez ali, né? Em relação ao dente, por exemplo, está muito bem feito, muito bacana. Eu acho que ali o sangue fez um trabalho bacana com a transparência na espada que ele estava falando.
Uma espada?
Isso. Conseguiu executar um trabalho ali de transparência, um sangue, um degradê legal para chegar na lâmina. Ficou bem legal.
Said he did a really good job doing the effect of the blood on the sword.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Eric, the teeth have the gloss. His main key point, of things to get better, is the contrast on the skin, which is really hard since a lot of people look at Kratos as being a gray character, having that subsurface, subtones, on the skin as well.
Isso.
Now he's pointing
out. Assim, eu apontaria, a única coisa que eu apontaria, além do que eu falei assim de coisas a melhorar na textura da pele, em relação a essa tatuagem, né? Porque a gente interpreta, isso assim, eu estou falando porque eu já pintei muito Kratos, e eu gosto de pintar, então assim, a gente interpreta a pele dele entendendo o personagem, né? Eu acho que é uma das grandes paradas assim, que a gente tem que fazer E ele é um cara que já era tatuado e foi coberto de cinzas, né? Então precisa de um pouco dessa sujeira de cinza ali
Okay.
ao redor da tatuagem.
So he said that since he paints a lot of Kratos, he would say, for example, his stripe, since he already had this stripe tattoo and he was covered in ashes later on, maybe have a little bit of that wear and that ashy look going inside, not that like straight transition, you know?
Okay. That's a good idea.
E afasta um pouquinho só para eu ver ali a parte de baixo dele, dessa saia dele ali, dessa câmera.
Saia?
Tem como aproximar um pouquinho, alguma outra foto de lateral dele? Eu só queria notar, tem uma paradinha nesse vermelho aqui.
A única foto que eu tenho é essa daqui.
Não, tranquilo. Basicamente isso que eu queria falar só. Pode passar a bola pro Brunão.
Tá, vou mostrar o exemplo que você falou. This is the Kratos Arthur was doing. You see how there's on his stripe there's some wear?
Yeah.
And you could see kind of like since he was covered in ashes later on.
Yeah.
This was a work in progress. And you could see his take on Kratos.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, let's go now. Bruno.
No, I think Arthur just said everything that is needs to be said. I like the blood. I like the skin. I think like he was the one that actually started doing what we said about the pores, because I can see if you zoom in, there are some difference. But I do agree with Arthur. At the same time, I do think like you could do some matte effect on the beard. The eyebrows could be a little bit more subtle. The transition between the eyebrows and the skin. And can you go to the skirt over there? If I'm not mistaken, and this is just me nitpicking a lot, okay? The color of the pattern that he has, if I'm not mistaken, is always shown as a golden color. So it's something like, if you wanted, you could put yellow, but I would like remove the sheen effect from the red, so the yellow would pop up, you know, and it would look more like a cloth material.
Yeah,
And
that
do
makes
some
sense.
tier in
the wet. You mean the shiny specular, right?
On the fabric,
exactly. I would try to maintain that only in the yellow / golden effect. But like I would like to see some like tear down effect, like some dry brushing in the tips of the skirt, because I can see that it is pretty much red flat, and in the left, in the little points over there.
Yeah,
there.
the edges. Yeah,
because this is something that he's been wearing a lot, killing monsters and climbing giants. So this shit is probably a little bit teared up, you know. And this is something that I think about when I'm painting. It's like, what's the story behind it? And this is something like, it's very, very well done. And I don't think I have a lot more to say. I like it very much.
Really good.
Yeah, good job.
Good job. Great job. Next one is Cable from Hefesto Studios. Bruno, you want to go first?
I don't remember this one. Oh, let me check. This one is very, very cool.
Yeah, it looks good.
It almost looks like a reindeer. Oh, I do remember the teddy bear.
He I think he broke the arm off and he put little.
yeah, I do remember the teddy bear. Can you go to a more the full body? I think this is a good example of like very small details matter, because I know which figures were the top 3, and as we progress, you're gonna be seeing like pretty much everyone did a very good job, you know. So there are some things that I like a lot in there, like for example the cloth, the base is very subtle, the asphalt is very good, the let me check, the power effect in the fire, the blue fire is very good. There is some teardown in the boots, but at the same time, can you zoom in the face?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the face look flat. So everything else is very, very well done. You can see like there's like so much detail on the on his armor. Yeah, and you have like some dry brushing, you have
And then
some
you have the
fabric,
face.
and
Boom.
then you
Yeah.
have the face. That's the problem when you start doing things like very very well. The thing that is not like in the same level pops up more than the rest, you know. So that does not mean that it's bad. It just means like you did the rest so good that
Oh well.
it stand
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much that. And to fix that, it's pretty much like everything that we said about the other ones. You should use more texture. It's pretty much what you did in the, the rest of the figure.
Yeah.
You should use more texture. Should use a little bit more of shading under the eyes to create that volume.
Even
Improve a little bit
in
of the
sculpting.
eyebrows.
Even in sculpting, like if you consider every little thing as the most important part of the piece, in the end you'll just have a phenomenal piece, you know.
You
Even
could
when we're
even,
designing these sculpts.
You could even do that effect in the other eye. I see a lot of times where it's painted, where it's like kind of like yellow, like the skin's almost glowing underneath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
spider effect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. That's pretty much that. I don't think I don't think I should add something because
Yeah.
this one is pretty cool. If
Yeah.
you wanted, you could like do a more battle damage version of Cable, but I really like this one.
Yeah.
But you can see in the forearm. Can you go back real
Forearm.
quick, Pablo?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, that this one is what explains what I'm saying. It's like you have the shading, but you don't have the texture. You know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Want to add anything, Arthur? Or could we move on to the next one?
Bem, não, eu posso apontar algumas coisinhas. Eu primeiro queria falar assim, que é bem, o Bruno usou uma palavra perfeita para o que a gente está fazendo aqui, que é catar detalhe, né? Ficar procurando detalhezinho.
Nitpicking, yeah. So Bruno
Isso,
used the right word, nitpicking. That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do because they're all
Yeah.
like phenomenal jobs.
Isso. Então, assim, o que a gente está fazendo aqui nada mais é do que catar detalhe para apontar o que poderia melhorar, tá? Não é marretando o trabalho de ninguém.
Mm-hmm.
Então, ele falou que, cara, é uma figura incrível e, cara, o que ele fez no ursinho aqui tá sensacional.
Like what he did on the bear.
Eu ainda lembrei do ursinho. Pra você ver como ficou
Yeah.
legal.
Do ursinho.
There's
bear was-
sometimes that even the simple stuff, if you do correctly, is gonna stand
Yeah.
out from the rest and
Yeah.
grab the
Because
attention.
he looked at the bear and he remembered the whole figure because he had seen
Yeah.
that bear,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah.
I think
nesse
the
ponto-
arm didn't print out, so he did a little fur effect, like
That's
That's
a
pretty cool.
nice touch.
Yeah, it looks good.
Então, assim, eu acho que eu concordo com o que o Bruno falou. Assim, a pele ali é o que eu apontaria de um detalhe que ele poderia ter trabalhado um pouco mais para que essa figura tivesse um nível acima. O Eric também mencionou uma coisa legal, que é o brilho do olho, né? Aí, nesse caso, se aplicaria fazer um leve amarelado ao redor desses olhos ali, por conta desse efeito que está saindo dos olhos. A
Até na
pele,
armadura
cara,
também, né?
isso, exatamente, essa região, né? A pele, cara, faltou realmente um toquezinho ali de textura, de cor, variação de cor nessa pele. A barba do Cable é um cara aí que, cara, a gente sabe que é um cara arruinado ali. Então, e eu acho que, como o Bruno falou, sendo chato na base, a base poderia ter um pouco mais de sujeira. E é só, assim.
So his comments, he said, would be, if you're nitpicking, it would be the skin, pointing back what you said about the glow in the eye, have kind of that yellowish thing, especially because he has a power here.
Yeah.
And maybe dirty a little bit up more the base, you know, it looks a little bit too clean for the whole situation. Maybe dirty it up a little bit more.
I agree. My only nitpick would be the skin tones. The skin tones fall a little flat as far as like shading and highlighting go. Because everything, like you guys said, everything else is so well done to where it just pops and stands out. It's
really nice.
Yeah.
So great job, Hefesto Studio. Next,
this is definitely one of my favorites, though. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah, I really like this one as well. We put the Deadpool arm from a past ZEZ sculpture over there. We ripped up his arm. Next, we're gonna do Lara Croft from Poly Paint Studios. Okay, let me open it up. This one I really like the bruise marks.
Those bruises
did a great job. No, really good actually.
Gostei muito dessa. Vai começar ou começa, Bruno?
Fala aí.
Tá. Então eu vou começar aqui primeiro falando, né? Eu conheço essa artista. É um casal de artistas aqui do Brasil. Antes de mais nada, eu queria parabenizar, não por ser brasileiro, mas saber das dificuldades que a gente tem aqui na comunidade artística do Brasil. Para mim é uma honra estar aqui falando do trabalho do brasileiro. Então, dizer que, cara, tá sensacional. A apresentação, que é aquilo que a gente falou, poderia estar levemente, como é que eu vou falar? Sendo chato de novo.
Faltava um pouquinho de contraste na luz.
Isso, uma luz mais contrastada para a gente poder ter uma apresentação mais vibrante. Mas sendo chato. Mas, assim, no geral, essa apresentação é o que eu acharia mais condizente para um concurso.
Yeah. So he first of all, Arthur was saying that they did a really good job. They are a couple, the ones that painted this, and they're Brazilian. And he knows the difficulty of finding like paint and stuff in Brazil and stuff like that. So they did a really good job. Presentation wise, he said that for a contest, this would be the ideal for a contest, so you could evaluate, since there's not a lot of stuff in the way, no lights changing the colors of the actual painting, and maybe a little bit more contrast on the light itself, so it won't look a little bit flat, but that would be just nitpicking.
Yeah.
E aí falando agora dos aspectos, assim, cara, a única coisa que eu seria chato aí em falar que poderia ir além são alguns detalhes, assim, que fazem alguma diferença para melhor, né? Então, vamos lá. Algumas linhas ali, as bordas da separação de materiais entre a pele e o couro, por exemplo, podia estar um pouquinho, até poderia estar sujando ali, aproveitar a sujeira dela para esconder um pouquinho essas linhas que estão um pouco, como é que eu vou dizer, fora do lugar, né? Mas isso aí é um aspecto técnico, né? Acho que a sobrancelha dela ali poderia estar um pouquinho mais suave no que diz respeito à construção, não com fios tão aparentes. Acho que os olhos poderiam ter um pouquinho mais de profundidade nessas sombras, pesar um pouquinho, carregar um pouquinho nas sombras para dar um pouquinho mais de peso no olhar dela. Mas
so
assim,
he
cara,
said, so the eyebrows, he would maybe not mark too much of the eyebrows and have like strong like strands like he did, maybe a little bit subtler. The eyes maybe have a little bit more contrast, when you have that a little bit more on top, so she has like a more like piercing look at the end of the day.
E assim, apontando agora algumas coisas assim que eu gostei muito, foram essas marcas de machucado, de bruises, né? Na pele dela, a sujeira que conseguiu um degradê legal, conseguiu fazer a sujeira em camadas e não jogar tudo de uma vez ali. Ela meio que construiu, né?
He's shouting out on the bruises because he did a phenomenal job in building layers on the bruises and not just throwing the weathering in dirt, but he built it by layers. You could see that it's built by layers, and this one's stronger and stuff like that. So he did a really, really good job on the weathering.
Eu apontaria assim uma coisa que poderia ser um pouquinho melhor trabalhada também na base, né? Diminuir um pouquinho acho que da luz ali, apagar um pouquinho essa vegetação da base e deixá-la um pouquinho menos chamativa. Isso distrai um pouquinho em relação ao que a gente está percebendo ali. Eu acho que assim, cara, para mim é só o que eu apontaria.
He said he would desaturate a little bit some of the plants so it won't grab too much attention, and that would be all that he would like input. But phenomenal piece.
Yeah, she looks good.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
No, it's just because this one is very hard for me because I
you
really like Lara Croft, and Arthur knows a little bit what happened, because last year I painted for the studio on Lara Croft. She's climbing a tomb, and I had to paint her like 4 to 5 times.
100
So
times.
so it's like I can see a lot of things that you guys probably wouldn't notice, but that's because I had access to some assets that you guys don't have. So I need to make that extremely clear that this is very well done, very well done. But once I start to look, there are some things that I would have changed in to make it a little bit more close to the original reference. Okay, so this is something that I would suggest. It's like the color of the shirt. There are some times that she appears with a blue shirt, but most of the times it's more like a teal shirt. So yeah, I think you guys are gonna be seeing the difference in the shirt that I mean. And at the same time, the color of the shorts is a little bit more contrasty. It's something more like a dark brown, and it's the correct color, but the tone is too desaturated. That's the same for the boots because they are very similar.
Yeah.
So
Almost looks like
once
leather.
yeah. The boots, if I'm not mistaken, is a little bit reddish, but and you guys did that. I can see that. So this is something like this one is very hard for me to judge because I know it was very well done, but if I could point some stuff, these would be the ones. And there's something that really catch my eye when I see this figure. It's like you guys nailed pretty much every single aspect of the skin. Because you guys did like the correct saturation of the skin, you guys did the correct saturation of the blood, you guys did the correct saturation of the dirt, the way that the blood drips on the bandages, the bruises with a little bit of the purple, but you guys could put a little bit of yellow in there, like a clear yellow for like some pus, like some I don't know how I can explain better
Yeah.
than pus, but it's pretty much like there's more than just red in scars. There's more than just the deep red that we see. But the thing that I wanted to point out is like I really like the monkey. The monkey is pretty cool. I really like the monkey. He's pretty cool. And I wanted to point out the green that you guys used in the base. Can you put up the figure that you were showing that I painted real quick,
Okay.
because this is gonna be easier to explain showing it. There are some things that that the RI is often understands as natural color, and there are some colors that if you go beyond that point in saturation, it starts to look artificial. So you need to be careful to don't go that line, So the green that you guys used is more green than it should be in the real world, So if we can do a real quick test, if you put like red green girl in a dress, green dress in like a camp, you are gonna be seeing that the color of the grass is not gonna be the same as the color of the dress. So it's something that makes it easier for you guys when you are painting. It's like don't go that far on saturation because this is gonna be looking fake, So this is something that you guys nailed on the skin tone, but you guys kind of shifted towards the saturated part in the plants.
Yeah.
And you guys did the correct saturation on near the monkey. The monkey is the start of the show.
O musgo, né? O musgo tá
the moss is very hard to do actually because there are a lot of variations in there. And I love the face. The face is very, very well done. That's pretty much it. I love the work, but it's something that whenever I see, it's like, oh my god, the shirt is off, the short is off, but that's because of me. That's not related to the execution. It's pretty cool.
Now we're going to the last of the top 7, right? No, we're gonna do Harley Quinn,
okay.
and then we'll move towards Thanos.
Sorry.
Yeah. Ok.
Esse aí acho que você começa, né, Arthur?
Não, agora é você.
Eu não comecei na Lara? Ah, é verdade.
Foi.
É que eu falei pra caramba. I said like I spoke so much in Lara that I thought I had started. Okay, can you put it on the full body picture first?
All right, let me just grab go speak. Let me just grab the another full body picture because I didn't save it. But in the meanwhile, you could start speaking, and then I'm gonna pull it up. Give me a second.
Okay, so I think this one is actually one that almost made it. I think Arthur is gonna agree with me because it's very well done. It's very well done. I can see the pores in the face. I can see like the makeups is pretty neat, but what I think it could be improved is actually some very minor details on the composition. Like if you have a colorful work with Harley, she is a colorful character in the world of comics. Uh, you need to actually do what we told about unsaturating some stuff. So the lamps that you have in the base is something that is so saturated that it actually grabs the eyes from Harley and puts in the base. So this is something that it gets me right away when I see it. And at the same time, I do think we could have a little bit of more of tear down and some scratches in the floor. I think you could actually work a little bit better in this because I can see there is volume, but at the same time, this does not look like a place that a bad guy would be. I
You're talking about the base, right?
Yeah, because the figure is pretty much on point. I'm trying to check some more stuff, but like the things that grabs my eye is that the lamps and the
Yeah,
wood.
grabs attention.
Yeah, and like we said, like as we move forward, the small things are gonna pop up
Yeah,
even more.
this one's really well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really well done. I love the face, by the way. Harley is hard to do. Very
Yeah.
hard.
Good job.
Unlike the Lara Croft, like I don't know, I guess she wears like leather too. That's kind of what I wish they did on the Lara Croft is add a little bit of like a sheen to the leather, just to make it look a little bit more shiny. That was missing on the Lara Croft. So I don't know if you guys normally do that to leather, but I kind of like when it has that.
Yeah.
With this wettish look, right?
Yeah, that little, just a little bit of a shine. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it's kind of a
good.
semi-gloss. It's not gloss because it will
satin.
look like a wet
Not even a sound, but
leather. Yeah, but it is pretty much that. But that's a very well done work. You could put a little bit of tear down in the hammer as well.
All right, Arthur.
Exato, eu concordo com o que o Eric acabou de falar sobre o couro, né? É uma coisa que a gente. É tanta coisa para a gente falar aqui que a gente acaba tentando atropelando para não comer muito tempo, né? Então é um assunto muito custoso, né? Muito tempo. Então assim, eu concordo, o couro tá sendo interessante nela, e o Bruno falou, legal, é uma personagem muito colorida, permite fazer muita coisa, e cara, essa pintura tá assim, muito bonita, ele acertou no ponto ali a questão da maquiagem, tá parecendo realmente uma maquiagem, e não a pele dela, né? Foi bem legal. Eu acho que ele poderia ter usado um pouquinho menos de saturação dentro dos olhos, a íris, né? Para não parecer tão cartoon. Os olhos trazer o olho um pouco mais para o real.
So he said he does agree with Eric when he said that the leather does look really nice. He did a very good job on the skin. The face, the makeup actually does look like makeup, it's not like overpowered. What he would have done is a little bit less saturation on the eyeball so it doesn't look too cartoonish, since he achieved such a realism on the skin, on the face itself.
A roupa, não tem o que falar, tá tudo no ponto. Uma coisa, cara, que é difícil de pintar, assim, principalmente quando a gente fala de figuras realistas, é pelo de animal. Então, cara, fez um trabalho legal esse pelo das hienas. As hienas ficaram incríveis, muito bonito. O brilho, como o Bruno tinha falado nos trabalhos anteriores, cara, você vê ali realmente que foi tratado com carinho, o brilho no olho, na boca.
Você consegue ver a diferença do material, né?
Exato, exatamente.
So he said that this gloss that they added is really good, so you could see the difference of the material itself, from fur to mouth and eye. You could notice that change because of the gloss. Fur is really complicated to do, but he said he did a really good job, and nothing
E
really
assim, aí sendo chato, mais uma vez, com que a gente vem fazendo, e tem que ser. Eu apontaria a mesma coisa que o Bruno, a madeira da base ali poderia estar com um pouco mais de cara onde um vilão estaria, né? Um pouco mais suja, mais variação de cor, de tons aí, e a saturação da lâmpada que está um pouco acima do que deveria estar, que está tirando a atenção da peça.
So, just to nitpick a little bit, he would say about the wood, maybe dirt it up a little bit more because it would be where a villain would actually be. You know, it looks a little bit too clean for this situation, and the saturation of the lamps could be toned down a bit because it ends up like grabbing too much attention.
Yeah, I mean, overall, personally, I like the whole piece. I kind of agree with the base with the wood, but a lot of times bases are very simple on most statues. Like there's not a lot of thought put into the base. And then the bulbs, it is what it is. It's part of the design, but I think it looks good as far as the bulbs go. I mean, I can't really nitpick too much on this one. It looks good.
Awesome. Okay, now I think we finished the top 7, right? So now we're gonna start from 3rd place of the ZEZ contest and work our way up to the 1st place. So 3rd place, according to the poll you guys did, was Green Goblin.
Really nice.
Really nice. I really like the skin on this.
Posso começar, Bruno?
Pode.
Cara, agora o negócio começa a ficar um pouco mais interessante, né? A gente tem aí trabalhos onde a gente tem muito pouco para comentar em relação a alguns problemas possíveis, né? Mas a gente tem, assim, a minha foto não tá abrindo aqui. Tá abrindo. Cara, eu achei esse grande verde sensacional. Sensacional. Tá muito bonito. O trabalho que ele fez na construção da pele, trazendo a pele um pouco mais para o real, né? Como seria o Duende Verde se... Eu gosto de pensar assim quando eu pinto. Como seria o Duende Verde se ele fosse um cara real, e não uma máscara, né? Então a gente tem nuances ali de pele, uma variação de cor bem bonita que ele conseguiu, trabalhando com algumas variações de verde, usando os vermelhos nos pontos certos.
So he said that when we start reaching to this top 3, it's a little bit harder to find flaws. So he said he did a really good job on the skin. It looks absolutely incredible. He also really likes to think, how would the Green Goblin look like if he was a human and not just wearing a mask, you know? And that's what he did here. So kudos to that, you know? Really, really, the red under the eyelids and the mouth, did a really amazing job.
Yeah, I like that. I was telling you, Arter, last night you painted a Joker that I'm working on now, and I was using your Joker as a reference because I like the way how you showed like the kind of like the realism underneath. It's not just Joker with a white face. You could kind of see like the blood flow coming through like in certain areas. So
yeah. That's it. Thanks. Eu fico lisonjeado de isso de verdade. Para mim, como artista, isso é fantástico.
Thank you, and he said he's really honored that you're using it as a reference. So he thanked you on that.
You're welcome.
Então, assim, eu gosto de raciocinar dessa maneira quando eu pinto, e é aí que esse Green Goblin me chamou a atenção, né? Porque o raciocínio está bem dentro do que a gente pensa quando faz uma pintura realista, né? Então você percebe ali, cara, os dentes, a variação, a diferença de cor na parte interna da boca e a graduação da cor para chegar no verde da pele, ficou bem no ponto, bem bonito.
He said that he figured it out on the point of always thinking, how would this look like in real life, you know? So he kudos to that of thinking when he approached the design in that aspect, and the transitions of his teeth and the mouth and stuff. See how you have reds and then it transitions to kind of like whitish skin, and then you have his skin. So everything was really, really, really nice.
Yeah, I like the blood vessels in the eyes. Everything's really well done.
Yeah. A única coisa que eu apontaria ali, o dente está fantástico, fantastic word, kudos. A única coisa que eu apontaria nos olhos, que eu não faria igual, talvez é a íris. Eu achei a íris um pouquinho menor do que eu gostaria de ver. Eu acho que ele teria que ter uma íris um pouco maior para dar uma cara mais de lunático, mas é uma visão minha como artista, né?
So,
O que ele poderia talvez fazer, só para
fala
complementar,
inglês, fala
Pablo,
inglês, fala inglês.
é que você traduz, aí você já puxa a minha.
Ah, tá.
Mas o que eu acho que o Arthur tá querendo dizer é que ele talvez pudesse aumentar a íris e diminuir a pupila, para poder criar esse ar de maníaco.
Exato,
Sabe?
exatamente isso.
Basicamente
Exatamente.
Diminuir a íris e aumentar a pupila?
aumentar
Não, aumentar
A
a
pupila
íris
e diminuir. Okay.
diminuir
So
a
he said
pupila.
that the only thing he would have made difference was to make his pupil bigger and shrink his iris. Is
the
that right?
opposite.
Or
No,
opposite? Oh, okay,
opposite.
the opposite. Okay. Yeah. So it gives him more that lunatic kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You think he did the pupils a little bit too small?
Agora, outros aspectos que eu gostaria de apontar aí, cara, foi um trabalho fantástico que ele fez na luz. Isso ficou muito claro que é um trabalho bem executado de pintura, o trabalho de iluminação que ele fez aí na base, nas luzes do hoverboard, do fogo. Cara, a cor que ele usou para fazer, a saturação que ele trabalhou ali, a roupa do Duende Verde, as cores, como ele usou, aí sim a gente aponta aquilo que a gente falou ao início, que eu não estava querendo tocar muito no início, né? Então, um bom uso do conhecimento de cores, né? Aí ficou no ponto. E assim, a gente tem luzes, mas as luzes da base, você vê que essa luz aí, por exemplo, que está mostrando, ela não está roubando a atenção do modelo, ela está trazendo o foco mais para junto do modelo, está compondo, né? Então isso, cara, tá fantástico. Eu acho que eu vou parar por aqui, o Bruno vai além disso, com certeza.
So he said that he did a great job on the lights and the way he did the light effects, that it doesn't steal the scene, you know? It works as a complement for the whole piece. And goes back to the color palette on the base is not fighting with the color palette of the main character, which is Green Goblin. So you have that main focus on the goblin and the base, everything like fits together, you know? Your eye moves towards the statue the way it really should on this piece. The way he did the light effect inside the glider as well. Amazing job.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, little camera. awesome job.
Yeah, that's a genius.
I think I do have this exact. No. I think it was the G7 because I do have one over here, but oh, okay. So I think I'm not gonna be repeating everything that Arthur said because he said, like, this is almost perfect in my opinion, because this is something that I would have in my collection for sure. This is very
That's
very
awesome.
well done. If I would point some stuff, would be to actually the purples. I would have a little bit of tear down in the edges, because everything else is very well stimulated, that the cloth feels a little bit off, and this little bit's like 2%. It's not much. It's something like, it's a little detail that I would have put, and I would have put a little bit of detail on the Thank God you put the no back. Yeah, this one. I would have put a little bit of these scratches in the bricks as well. So this is something that I would have put like some whitish, like scratches on the bricks, because this is a very chaotic scene. So this should have some dirt and some dust and some scratches in there. Can you go back to the full figure again, please?
I think I didn't download it.
Yeah. Oh, this one is good. I just remembered something.
This one?
This explains a lot what I was saying about Lara and the green, because you can see the difference between the green of a skin tone and something natural, organic, and you can see a difference when you go to artificial. And he represented that very, very well. So I agree with Arthur about the eyes. I think even though he's trying to portray some lunatic feel, it's too small. But like, this was one of my favorite. I think I even told you guys that in the Discord, and I just compliments over here, because this is a very, very well done figure.
Yeah, I agree. Personally, this is, I think, my top pick out of the three. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so hard to judge each one because it's different reasons. Each one is
Yeah.
so great, but this one's
Yeah.
really good. And you got to give him extra points for pulling off the light off effect, which came out really
For
good.
sure.
it's really hard.
For sure.
And it
Because,
complements as well.
the cool thing is like he did the trail of the pumpkin bomb so well that it actually looks like a trail of fire coming out. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's a good piece.
That's
It does
insane.
not look like a LED strip over there. So
Yeah.
well done by that.
Really good.
Eu queria apontar só uma coisinha assim que, cara, também ficou muito bem executado nessa peça. Eu falei, né, do roxo da roupa, eu esqueci de falar das escamas que o Bruno falou do verde, né? Cara, um trabalho muito bem feito ali de variação de cor, tá muito bem feito ali. Você percebe o uso do azul nas sombras do verde, vai subindo para a luz, você percebe o amarelo, um pouquinho do uso de marrom para as sombras. Nossa, você não tem aquilo que a gente falou do uso do preto e do branco, né? São cores. Cores que eu digo são as primárias, né? Não estou falando que preto e branco não é cor, pelo amor de Deus.
So he wanted to point out that he did a really good job on the color variation on the skin, on the actual suit. And you could see tones of bluish going into green, and for some shadows, kind of tones of browns. And he just didn't stick to whitish and grayscales. You know, he actually used colors to bring that mixture, and did a really good job on that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now second place, we're gonna go to Thanos by Print and Paint Studios. Let me open the full piece here. All right.
It's really good too.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this one I can start. This one is one of my favorites as well, and I said that in Discord when we were talking. But there's something that throws me off a lot, just because the rest is so well done, and is the base and Iron Man. I'm pretty sure like you could have worked better to separate some volumes from Iron Man with the red, and the way that you did, I don't know if it's the battle damage. Yeah, probably the battle damage because you have a lot of aluminum, but some angles it get like unreadable. The volume is unreadable, you know, and you would need to actually feel in to actually understand how to make that not happen. I don't know how I can put that in words, but the base is very well done. I think you could put a little bit of purplish in the shadows to kind of harmonize with Thanos on top, because the rocks would work. If you are going for the Infinity Gauntlet idea that they have, like the battle and things like that, you could go for more cosmic stuff, you know. And I actually painted a Thanos for Iron, a quarter scale Thanos, and we were doing this idea of the battle. And one of the things that we were talking is like we got to the rocks, and I said to them like, okay, we can go with purple because it's something that since he has blue, if you know how to understand how to use purple, the purple actually kind of pops out. I don't know how can I say that better, but it's something that kind of gives that color contrast that I told you. So you don't need to use the purple in every single aspect of the stone. You could still use like the tips being more grayish, but you could do the shadows in a more purplish way. And that would help actually to separate from the metal that you have below. So the Thanos itself looks very, very well done. In my opinion, is like extremely well done. Seriously, the OSL that you did on his arm could be a little smaller, but at the same time, it's not something that throws me off. I really liked how you did the eye, like how you did everything else. The stones, I can see that you try to simulate like the little power inside the gems. That is very, very cool. And I like pretty much everything about Thanos in this one. It's very well done.
Really good job. Arthur.
Yeah. Eu concordo totalmente com o que o Bruno falou. Assim, cara, tá um animal essa peça. fantástico a pintura que ele fez. Realmente trouxe vida para o Thanos, né? Algumas coisas assim, e aí sendo chato, né? Primeiro eu vou falar do que eu achei muito interessante nessa pintura, e depois eu vou falar, vou ser o cara chato. Quer traduzir, Paulo?
Yeah, so he said he really likes his Thanos, and he really did a good job in bringing life to the character. He's gonna start off by everything he did really like and grabbed his attention, especially on this piece, before he like nitpicks a little bit on what he would improve.
Okay.
Então, assim, eu trabalho, o que me chama a atenção de cara, assim, nessa pintura, você consegue dar um zoom no torso dele, Paulo, por favor? Subir um pouquinho aí. O que me chamou a atenção de cara nesse Thanos, assim, foi como ele conseguiu chamar a atenção para a nossa leitura imediata, assim, para o rosto do Thanos, né? Percebe o Thanos ali, o olhar sombrio do Thanos, e através do trabalho que ele conseguiu fazer da armadura, do dourado ali, e esse efeito de luz aí que ficou, cara, muito bem feito. Esse daí, tá?
He wanted to call out on the good job that he did on when he painted the whole shoulder pad. He did it in a way that grabs attention to the face of Thanos first. You know, you look at Thanos' face and then you start noticing the rest. So he did a really good job not to steal the scene with the armor, but it complements and it wraps around like a frame, right, for the head.
Exato, exatamente. Funciona como um frame para a cabeça. E assim, você consegue perceber, buscando os detalhes, né? Vendo ali o trabalho que ele fez na pele, o Thanos, gostei pra caramba do que ele fez na pele, os dentes. Aí eu vou começar agora aí, ó. Olha isso. Cara, gostei muito da pele do Thanos.
He really liked the skin and the way he did the skin on Thanos.
Acho que talvez assim, se eu fosse pintar, talvez eu pintaria os dentes um pouco menos brancos, acinzentados, e mudaria um pouquinho os olhos, mas é questão de gosto pessoal. Tá?
If you would nitpick, what he would have done different was maybe not use too many gray tones on the teeth. And o que você falou do olho?
O olho eu faria um pouquinho diferente. Eu acho que, não sei, o vermelho está um pouco saturado demais, mas é questão de gosto, né?
Yeah, he said that just personal taste wise, he would like desaturate a little bit of the eye, but that's like personal stuff. Really good job.
E aí sendo chato, né? Buscando o que ele poderia ter feito para melhorar, assim, aí de cara, minha atenção foi para bota na luva dele.
To nitpick, he said he's gonna say something about the gauntlet.
Desce aí para a direção do cotovelo. Ali, ó, tem uma luz aí que tá meio, não sei, tá? Para mim essa luz me distraiu um pouquinho, ficou muito puxado. Ele tentou simular essa luz aí do trono, né? E acabou distraindo um pouquinho, acho que roubando um pouco do tom do dourado e da luz da cena.
He said he tried to simulate this light effect, but it ended up stealing a little bit of the glow in the armor, so it kind of distracts the eye, you know. He wouldn't like over.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much on that spot.
Yeah, just on this spot.
E assim, aí um detalhe que me chamou a atenção no traje, assim, também, que eu acho que poderia ter ido além, e aí parece que, tipo, usou toda a atenção, como se tivesse ido feito um trabalho muito bem executado numa parte, e em outra parece que deu uma segurada, então parece que puxa o trabalho um pouquinho para baixo, que é justamente naquilo que a gente estava falando, sobre o uso das cores e das sombras na roupa, na parte azul da roupa dele, né? Eu acho que tem muito preto. Essa coxa aí, Pablo, por favor, que está para baixo. Essa aí. Eu acho que poderia ter feito um trabalho, como o Bruno falou, né, do uso dos roxos em algumas partes para criar o contraste. Ele poderia ter usado isso aí.
He would have used different colors to generate the contrast and not the like black that he used here, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Pablo, do you have a picture of the back of the chair?
Yes, I do.
Curious to see that. There we go. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Os detalhes que ele fez aí dos fios.
A lot of patience. A lot of patience.
Yeah, it looks like he threw some purples into the metal, which looks really nice.
Yeah.
Isso ficou muito bonito. mas aí, mais uma vez, tem aquela distraçãozinha dessas luzes aí. Nesses pontos aí não bateu bem, mas no geral, cara, o Thanos, assim, quando você olha de cara, é incrível.
He said a phenomenal job. He would only be careful with like these light effects that he did on the shoulder
Yeah,
and
I could
sometimes here on the back of the chair here. But
I could
other
see
than
why he
that,
did it now. So if you look at the base with the blue, so the bottom is the
Yeah.
jet thrusters as well as the
yes,
arm,
Yeah.
yes,
the jet thrusters. So he's using a lot more, where the thrusting, from the flames or whatever it would be.
yeah,
And then now
yeah.
he's
These
coming off.
little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, versus the stuff going around the armor, which was a little bit more subtle.
Exato.
Yeah. He
Exato.
did here. It looks like really nice on the bottom. The way
Né?
it reflects.
Nesse ponto aí ficou bem ajustada a luz. Tá bem...
Yeah. That would be it for this one. But really good job. Really good job. So now
Awesome.
we're going to first place, guys. First place was the Predator from Darth Doomy. Phenomenal piece. I'm gonna open up some pictures right now. There you go. This is what got first place. Who wants to start?
Quer começar, Bruno? Eu começo.
Pode ser, você que sabe. Quer que eu vá?
Não, pode começar.
Okay, so this was easily my favorite one. I actually, to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think I would have done anything different on this one, because there are a lot of details that I really, really like. The wet dripping on the armor
Yes.
pieces, the sheen in the skin looks very well done. There are some details of the blood. It's like it's done in the correct amount that I would have put. I really, really like this one. To be completely honest, I think Dardiumi did an extremely good job, and it kind of resembles the I was gonna say the alien, and people would kill me. The Predator, like it should. And if I would have put something, just being like extremely nitpicking, would be to add some green blood on the skulls that he has on the right of the alien. So
This
that's
one.
pretty much that. Yeah, that's pretty much that, because I don't think that's necessary, but would be like an option, I really, really like this one. I don't have much to say. Like, congratulations, you
The
did an amazing job.
the skin looks really nice
Yeah.
as well.
It's very, very good.
Was all that scaling part of the sculpt, or is that something he did on his own with
Well-
like the different dots and the
Okay, so what's not part of the sculpt, which was, I think, his artistic direction. He put this doesn't exist on the actual sculpt on the hand,
Okay.
and
It's a good touch.
the alien skull that he added that as well. I think on the original one there's like I think this is a monkey skull.
Okay.
Yeah, that was smart.
And,
It adds like just like a nice little pop of color with that
and
red.
Yeah.
an alligator skull.
That was a
So-
very well thought touch.
Yeah, did a really good job. I should have thought of that.
Oh.
Wow.
Hire this guy.
But crap. And
Oh,
he
he
added
said
these.
the monkey is still there somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
there. Oh, he put it here. I see.
Yeah, that's cool.
He added like little vines and stuff like that to wrap.
He sits in the
Each-
back.
Ah,
There you go. I just got rid of the actual rope.
Really good job. Oh yeah, I see it now. Really good job. He did the snake kind of.
é,
The snake doesn't steal the scene. Also, some people painted the snake kind of greenish, saturated. I think everything's really, really nice. Any adding thoughts, Arthur?
Concordo com o que o Bruno falou, cara, assim, e eu sou suspeito para falar porque eu te falei isso quando eu vi esse Predador, né, Pablo? Eu sou fãzaço do Predador, queria muito pintar isso daí. Eu acho também que, cara, como o Bruno falou, eu faria pouquíssima coisa de diferente. Eu percebo que olhando a foto, um detalhe que eu faria diferente, que é na boca. A boca, eu acho que a boca do alien aberta, eu acho que eu usaria menos saturação ali. Só.
So he
De
said that
resto,
he's an actual really fan of the Predator, and looking at this piece made him want to paint our Predator as well. So I'm looking forward to see that. He would not do a lot of stuff different than what he did. The only different thing that he would do is less saturation in the open mouth, kind of like bringing that pinkish tonish, not
Yeah.
too much of the red tone.
Yeah, I agree.
But that would be the only thing.
Agora, assim, aí coisas que a gente vai falar e, assim, cara, merecedor do primeiro lugar, né? Primeiro, a apresentação. Cara, tá fantástica a apresentação dessa peça. A fotografia foi bem feita, a iluminação tá, cara, justinha, não tem luz, assim, demais, não tem luz distraindo, você consegue ver os elementos da base. Esse toque que você falou ali, que não tinha, que ele adicionou por conta própria, é uma questão de criatividade artística, isso é genial.
He said that now looking at it as a first place winner, right? So he said he's really deserving of the first place in every aspect, even from photographs he took. Nothing like trying to grab more attention than it should. No lights overpowering. The attention to details, the creative process of adding the alien skull speaks and shows that he is an artist himself and creative as well.
Os detalhes da base, cara, os pequenos detalhes da base, cara, isso realmente ficou incrível, assim, não tem muito o que apontar. E aí, um outro detalhe é que, assim, e aí sendo muito chato, eu acho que é a pele na região ali da barriga, talvez, eu acho que na coxa, por exemplo, ele colocou um tom que eu não sei se também era foto, né, mas me parece, não, tem uma foto que parece, eu acho que é da fotografia, que nessa aí, por exemplo, dá para ver que ele colocou uma cor diferente na barriga, mas em outras parece que não, mas eu acho que é da fotografia, pode ser um reflexo da luz.
So he said to be like really, really nitpicking, it would be to match the color that he did on the legs. See how it looks like there's a different tone of skin on the legs, on the whole body, you know?
Yeah.
So it looks like it flows in harmony. But that would be like if you really trying to look for something, you know?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Amazing job.
Amazing job.
Eric?
For me, it came down between the Predator and Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And like even the painter said, Darth Dumai in the comment, you're getting a lot of the same color tones with the Predator. Not that it's difficult. I mean, difficult to paint. He did an amazing job, but I feel like with the Green Goblin, it was a little bit more technical to paint. There's a little bit more going on, and especially the fact that he pulled off the light up feature. But that's, again, it's like comparing like one character versus another character. It's like it comes down to like, well, who chose the right model to paint to become the winner? You know, all three were amazing at the end. So, but I love the Green Goblin.
Yeah, everyone did an amazing job, and it was like I said, the reason we chose the top 10 was to filter out. And then we put it on Patreon. That way, we just got the votes according to what people and the actual people were voting over on Patreon. But I think the top 3 deserve to be on the top 3 for sure. And actually, Doomy.
Yeah, guys, it didn't come down to like us voting. Like Pablo just said, it was a vote over on his his channel, and that's who the people voted for. You know, comes down. You gotta vote for the winner. You know.
And actually, the winner's girlfriend of the first place, he was like, "Hey, why don't you do a little trophy design for the top 3 contestants?" So I woke up this morning. I was like, "Let me get to it." So I'll be sending STLs to the top 3 of the ZEZ contest, first, second, and third place. So you guys can print it, have a little trophy, put it next to the statue.
That's really
just
cool.
Something symbolic, a good touch. Very creative, Darth. me.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
creative.
Really nice.
Really good. So that's that, and that's the back. I added the Predator helmet here, the Thanos here, and the Green
Cara,
Goblin.
genial, hein, Papo?
Since they were the top three, I
Genial.
added the little Easter eggs and just
Nice.
like other little stuff.
Yeah, it's nicely done.
So did anyone send links so we could look at one or two more last ones before we, because it's getting late,
Yeah, I'm going through the comments now. Let's see.
so we could,
Thanks so much.
someone that didn't make the top, leave this on the screen.
Cara, tá bem. Esse comentário aí que pipocou aí, ó, Paulo, que eu esqueci o nome da pessoa, acabei de ver aqui, falou uma frase fantástica, assim, só pode haver um, né, é óbvio, mas
Yeah. So someone said that
parabéns,
there,
pode falar.
someone added a comment saying that like the best may win, you know, there's only one winner, but
There's only one,
at
but,
the end of the day,
mas
it's really
isso,
hard. You know?
aí ele parabeniza, ele continua parabenizando a todos que tiveram a coragem de mandar os trabalhos para o contest, e é exatamente isso que ele falou. Perfeito.
So Arthur said that congrats to everyone that had courage to actually put yourself out there and send a submission, because you know that it takes a lot, you know.
Só uma parada, Paulo. Isso aí foi o comentário que eu li, tá? E é realmente isso.
Okay. He said that someone wrote that in the comments and he agrees with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Where can we send that? They want to know where to submit the links in the comments, right?
Yeah, just put it in the comments and you just forward it to me, and I'll open it and share it.
I don't know if YouTube's gonna allow it, because YouTube has this policy.
Yeah, I would have to approve it. If I see it, I'll approve it.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, they usually block links unless I approve. Let me double check on my phone if it's popping up on there. No, I don't see anything unless it's automatically getting blocked. Which
if not, just DM ZEZ Studios, just the link. I'll hop on a group chat with Arthur and Bruno, and they'll send like a minute audio, just really quick, just talking about, and then I'll forward the audio.
In the video description, I left links to ZEZ's Patreon. I left links to Otter's Instagram, as well as Bruno Papa's Instagram, as well as everybody else that was here. Carol and what was the other guy?
Fabio.
Fabio, yeah. So he couldn't make it.
Yeah. What were you? 2 hours? 2 hours live?
Almost. 2 to 2.
Do you guys mind if I just talk a little bit more about my painting videos?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure.
So I have a platform in the internet where I share some of my painting sessions, and there are some tutorials on painting. So if you feel like it, it's like bpapaart.com, and they are in English and Portuguese.
I'll be posting it also on the ZEZ story as well. Just send me the link and I'll post it on the ZEZ story for anyone that's interested. And also Arthur Montero and his wife have a realism course as well that I posted on the Patreon probably yesterday or before yesterday. So you guys could check that out as well. Thank you for everyone that joined the live. Thank you once again, Eric, for allowing us to be here on this live on your channel. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. It was an honor. It was an honor having you guys here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. You want to close it off?
Yeah, that was awesome. If nobody else has anything to add, I'll talk to you guys backstage. Yeah.
Posso falar
Arthur wants to say something real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Primeiro eu queria agradecer o Eric. Thank you, Eric. That's great. Foi um prazer imenso. Pablo, obrigado, irmão, pela oportunidade que você deu para mim, para o Bruno, para a Carol, para o Fábio. Eu estou me adiantando para falar o nome deles, mas eu sei que o Bruno vai poder falar também. Obrigado, cara. Foi um prazer imenso, de verdade, poder acompanhar o trabalho do pessoal que mandou. Foi uma honra poder apontar aqui algumas coisas. Isso não quer dizer que a gente esteja diminuindo o trabalho de ninguém, pelo contrário, é o que a gente pensa como artista que poderia engrandecer o trabalho. Então, eu queria mandar os parabéns para todo mundo que participou, sem exceção, sem colocar aqui o top 10. Parabéns a todo mundo. Foi Eu acho que exige muita coragem do artista para mandar o trabalho, para ser avaliado por outros artistas. Então é isso, obrigado. Brunão, prazer estar contigo aqui trocando essa ideia. Ele é meu amigo. Por acaso a gente está aqui nessa live através do Pablo, também é meu amigo. O Fábio é meu amigo. O Carol é esposa. Então, cara, é um prazerzaço poder falar que eu fiz amigos dentro da arte. Desculpa, Pablo, eu estou falando um montão, só que traduzir, né, cara?
Não, e vai ser incrível se ele falar he said hi.
No.
Então, assim, obrigado. Estou feliz demais, cara.
Yep. So basically, Arthur was thanking everyone that showed up on the live, everyone that submitted an entry. He was thanking me and the ZEZ Studios team and all the artists. He also thanked Eric as well for allowing us to be here. He said it takes a lot of courage for people to submit work, and he was honored to be chosen together with Bruno, Fabio, and his wife Carol to be one of the judges. People that he respects, people that they're all friends, and he was just sending his thankful words out to you guys.
Couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, it was. Like I said, it's been a blast. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, thank you for coming on the show tonight, guys.
I thank you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you. Have a blessed night. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.